Welcome to another episode of Caribbean Discoveries. And today we are here in a village called Chaguaramas. Chaguaramas, here to what I call a hidden zoo, but better known as
The Eco Safari Park.
the Eco Safari Park. And here is our zookeeper. Well, one of the zookeeper at this Eco Safari Park. And we're here live with Jack. So tell us a little bit more about the zoo is
Faustin. Hi, I'm Faustin Ramkernson. I work here. This is a safari type area, and we have a lot of animals here. We have zebras, we have kangaroo, we have camels, as well as a mountain lion, some quanks, and we are ever expanding. We actually have about 40 acres of land, and we started small, and we would like to give our park a different feel from a zoo. We want to go safari. That's our peacock there, letting us know he's around. We're actually trying to expand, make all the cages as big as possible. We hopefully would like later on for people to be able to drive through the cages, give the animals more time to interact with people. We don't keep anything in small cages. We like to give them a lot of space. We're expanding as time goes by to accommodate more people and more animals. We also try to do things eco-friendly. We're trying to be self-sufficient, get water from this area. We're going to get solar power panels. We're going to get everything turbine. So we're going to be self-sufficient in the area and promote eco-awareness.
Okay. So you say drive through, so you
Yes,
mentioned.
we would like to have, we have some camels, we have some zebras and some other animals we plan to get. And we would like to do drive-through tours for
Wow.
those who would like it. We're also building little play parks, little areas for kids to interact with some of the smaller animals, some of the baby animals. We do have a little bunny rabbits, some domesticated animals to deal with. And we do have the larger animals that people are allowed to feed. They're allowed to feed the camels, they're allowed to feed the zebras, and as you can see, they're allowed to play and feed Jack, which is our red kangaroo. He's very, very interactive. We have the peacocks in the back. They're allowed to roam free. Now, and in the evenings, we do let out the animals. They're not confined to their cages. Most of them, like for instance the camels,
Yeah.
they can be let out. We let out the llamas, we let out the camels. We have some horses that we rescued and a pony. We let them out and they roam free. Within this area, of course, they're allowed to roam, eat grass, graze as much as they like. In the morning, we do put them back because we do have walkabouts here. He's just looking at the peacock. We do have walkabouts here, so that's why in the morning we put them back. But in evening periods, we open the doors and we let them roam.
Okay. So people who come and actually rent the facility.
Yes, you can rent the facility if you like. If you like to have your birthday party, we do allow, you can bring your bouncy castle, you can bring your face paint, whatever. We accept little donations, whatever little donations you want to give. Or there's an arrangement with whoever, if you hire or if you have guides as well. That is of course made with the office. And we have a grand opening soon because things are still on its way. And when we have the grand opening, then we're going to have like fees and whatever else. Anything else?
So you have plenty of animals to come.
Yes, we have a lot of animals to come still, and we're moving step by step. So we're getting little things like our first animal we would like to get a female for our friend Jack here, which is our red kangaroo. And then from there we move on. But in the future, we're gonna get a female cougar as well for our boy
right.
down at the end.
Alright, well, you can come and you'll take us around now and we can get to see
Sure,
the
of
different
course.
animals.
We can go.
Okay.
Alright guys, we're gonna start off by the kangaroo, which is Jack right here. Now, for anybody who's ever had dogs, I want you guys to just take in mind how friendly dogs are sometimes. Sometimes they may jump on you. They will want to interact, and Jack is very similar to that. Right, so it's not aggression. He just come up according to what we have. Sometimes we have food, sometimes we don't have food. He will interact, he will play, you can take pictures of them, you can take videos of them. So we're going to walk across by him now. So this is Jack. Jack is a young red kangaroo. As you may already know, he originates from Australia. He is about a year and a half. He loves to interact, so you guys can come into the shade. So as you may notice, he comes right up, he interacts. So if you want to come in as well too, and just stand right here, or you could stoop down right by him. You can give him a touch, you can interact. The only thing I'll warn you about is probably the nails. He does not scrape you intentionally, but sometimes when he's just passing close to you, you might get a little, a little scrape. What we have here as well are some other animals that are similar to him. We have another marsupial, because that's what he is. Sorry, he is a marsupial. He's not a rodent. We have marsupials here in Trinidad. Right, so this is what I was talking about when he interacts. So you don't move, right? You don't move, right? This is the marsupial. Don't move, right? Right, this is not a rat, it's a marsupial.
Somebody
They have
taking
a
a picture.
They have a prehensile tail. You notice the tail can be used as a limb, they use it to hold on. Similarly, Jack uses his tail as a leg. So sometimes he will rock back on his leg, he will use his leg as leverage, he will use his leg to prop himself up, and that's where you see the little kicks and stuff that they do when they're older. He is a young male, and as Jack gets older, he will actually be the size of one of these guys. When Jack stands up, his feet will be able, well, his hands, it looks like hands, will be able to rest on your shoulder. Yeah, that's how big he gets.
Yeah, we see videos of the
You've seen the boxing videos, huh? But they don't actually box because their hands don't curl in like this. But it's more of like a slap to him. There we go. You sure? He's very cute.
Take a picture of me. Yeah, because
Look at this.
hey,
He has very strong hands and he just climbs. If you want him off, just take him and I can take him back. A possum, they have pouches just like, that's how they're related to the kangaroo. Right? They have the pouches. Kangaroos keep their babies in a pouch. These guys keep their babies in the pouch as well too. The entire world knows them as a possum, but we know them as macaws. Now we want to be careful around these zebras because of the fact that they can bite, but not that ours have bitten. It's just in a general statement, zebras can bite. So we have their food here for them. You can feed from the scoops and interact with them, take pictures if you like. I'll show you how it's done. Yeah. Right, so you see how all of them come in for one? We would actually like to spread out as much as we can. So I'll give you guys, we have 3 here. And you can spread them out. You have a bigger scoop as well. You guys could share, I don't know. Might be possible. Any questions about them, I'll be glad to answer. Facts about them, they're actually related more to the mule and to the donkey. Yeah, you can go right in the middle here. Than to the horses, the anatomy is different. So on the insides of a zebra is very different from the insides of a horse. They're actually not as docile as horses. That's why there have not been many cases of them being domesticated. I know of 2 probably historically. And this is not one of them. These are not domesticated. They are still very fickle. They're very skittish. Little noises will bother them. This guy here is Shimon. That's it. Look at this here. Each stripe is pronounced Shimon. You know, like that? Like that? Right. Somebody gave him that name and I thought it was beautiful. So each stripes are like fingerprints for the zebras. They're all different. This guy has this. I noticed one thing that's different from him. That. Right there. He is the only one. If there's any interaction while you're feeding, that's about it. But of course, remember, the mouth is there. And sometimes when they get annoyed, remember, as I said, they're very fickle. Sometimes you don't know, they might hear a sound, bamboo might fall, and they skid, they duck, they kick, right? So you be careful around them, but yeah, they're otherwise alright.
How hard they would bite?
A bite can probably take off a finger. But as for a child, I've seen instances where horses would do it. Remember, with the jaw, it's similar to that of the horse. The teeth is similar to that of a horse. So I'm guessing that there's a similar bite you will get as well. It wouldn't be something dangerous to us humans yet because they're young. But as they get older, that will come down a bit hard on your fingers. What happens with the llamas, they only spit if they're annoyed. If they're provoked or annoyed, some people ask, you know, if they just spit just for random. No, ours doesn't. They have to be annoyed, they have to be, something has to be wrong for that to happen. So we come here with food for them, they're not going to do that. You can feed them by hand because being related to camels as well as the kangaroos, they don't have the upper jaw of teeth.
Okay.
They have a lower jaw and then they have teeth at the back. So they bring the food in and they ground up the food at the back with the teeth at the back. So up here, you notice only has gum.
Okay.
Gum, teeth underneath, and then the teeth at the back. So here you guys go. You can all feed.
Chicken feed.
No, actually this is sheep and goat ration, and the corn provides the protein because they, no, not protein, it's carb. So they recommend mixing this for them because this is what they would feed them away and in Trinidad to other people around.
You want me to hold one for you there?
You want me to hold one? I'll gladly take it.
It's tickling, right? These are good pictures. gosh,
No, right? But what happened with him? He was rejected by the mom, so he didn't get that necessary colostrum from the milk, right? Not necessary colostrum milk from the mother. So he didn't. They would not have used him to race because they like to have their horses get that certain milk, that nutrition before they use them for competition. So they asked us to assist them with just taking care. This actually rescued animals. These are not our original animals. They asked us to rescue them, well, take care of him, see how he goes, and so far we're doing that and we're working with him.
We could ride Blondie.
No.
You know how heavy you are. You're probably the same weight as Blondie. Blondie is a
My little pony.
miniature.
Oh gosh.
If you want, you could jump on the camel and have fun with that. See what happens now.
Why that doesn't sound like...
I will turn my back and be like, I don't know what happened there. That guy just ran into the enclosure and jumped on the camel. See, that's why I call her Stashina.
Yes, push.
This, by the way, is a brown capuchin. South American, they're not local here, it's like Trinidad and Tobago. What we actually do have down here are white-fronted capuchins, I believe, and howler monkeys. That is the only monkeys we're supposed to have here locally. What we actually do have now are these guys, right? They're all from South America. We have tufted capuchins, brown capuchins. We have, I think I even saw squirrel monkeys here. And they're all coming across because of the pet trade. Because people are bringing them across, and these animals, when they're young, they're very nice, they're very cute, but as they get older, they get aggressive, right? So people have them, they think it's so cute. What actually happens is they can't control them later on. It's like a child wanting only pizza, because you know they would give them whatever little food they're eating. But then to explain to her that pizza is not good for her, that you should eat your vegetables, it's very hard to get that across. And they become aggressive, they throw little temper tantrums, they trash the kitchen, sometimes they'll give you a little nip on the face. Right? So that's why people shouldn't really get them. And most importantly, they're protected. They are protected species. It is illegal to have these animals, any monkeys, not just the ones from South America, but the ones from Trinidad as well. Right? So, simply put, layman terms, kids terms, we have the one-hump camel and the two-hump camel. Right? One is from cold region, one is from warm regions. Example, desert or snow. Of course, by looking at them, you guys can tell immediately which one is the desert one and which one is the snow.
The one half is the desert.
Right.
Oh.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is very correct. Most of the time in cartoons, you'll see them, they have the little, they will show, for some reason they'll show Arabs on the two-hump camel.
Yeah.
That's a cartoon, that's a Popeye, Tom and Jerry thing. That is not real. It's because the two-hump camel looks better for some reason in their eyes. So they put it like that, and a lot of people think now that the two-hump camels are the warm weather, but actually no, they're cold weather. These guys didn't come from Siberia. They came from a ranch area where the climate is similar to ours, and as you notice, the extra fur is being shed because they don't need it. It's very warm here, so they get rid of the extra fur. Of course, they would not put on as much weight as they would in a cold climate. These guys are, of course, desert, one hump. These are dromedary and Bactrian camels. We have the food here. You guys can interact. You can take selfies if you like. You can stay right here. They're very interactive. Now I do recommend we feed all of them at the same time because of the fact they start to compete for the food similar to the zebras. Take up food, guys. It's all yours to feed. Now remember, just like I said about the llamas, remember that vital point about the llamas? Right, no upper jaw teeth. Go ahead, before they leave. You see the gum? Sorry? Just the gum. You won't hurt them, they use their lips to bring in. Go ahead, feed them before they leave. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Jasmine! Where's Jasmine? Yeah, we have Jasmine and Aladdin,
Not about that today.
which are the desert camels, and we have Anastasia and Alex, because I tried to get Russian, Siberian. No. Right, so here we have Scarlet macaws. I'm actually going to bring them out so you guys can hold on a bit. Apple seeds have a little bit of cyanide in it, which is toxic. So when we're giving these birds fruits, we avoid giving them, I believe it's grapes, the apple seeds, so we have to take out the seeds. and avocados. I don't know the science behind it yet. I have to look it up, but I know avocados are toxic to these birds. Yeah, a lot of people would feed and they don't know, but it is toxic to them. I am going to bring out Poopsie. Come Poopsie, come and say hi.
Poopsie.
Right, so the procedure for Poopsie making a poops is to go out the road and play a mark because I think it's good luck.
Ow.
Right, so that's why I was actually choosing somebody with the.
Yeah.
But as you notice, she's not digging in. She rests, she relaxes, she plays with your ears. Oh gosh.
I have to
Something
This here.
You probably use a little cocoa butter or something in the hair. This is the most friendly one, that's why I brought her out. These are rescued birds as well. So I've trained them. I've trained them enough to be able to interact, to go on shoulders if you guys like. As I was saying, these are Scarlet macaws. They are local to South America. Good. So what we have here is a southern lapwing nest. These animals are frequent to golf courses, parks, any area with a savanna area. They're actually South American. They're not indigenous to here. But of course, you know, they fly across. They have on their shoulders, like how the macaws wings like this, they have spurs coming out of their shoulders, which is about this long. It's red spurs. They will actually come at you and dive at you and gash if they can, as you can see. Now they're very accustomed to us being here. I didn't want to remove the nest, so that's why I'm actually getting the birds accustomed. Anyway, I'm actually getting them accustomed to people, so they, you know, they know we're here, because many a times we have stores and people are walking around, so I want them to get, we're actually building back a barrier around this, right?
Yeah,
Right, so they have backup. It's three of them. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. These guys also, if they notice that a predator is coming close to their nest and they can't, it's fine, it's fine. Relax, guys, relax, relax. Relax, relax, relax. I am closest. Right, so what I was saying, what I was saying is that if it is they realize they can't scare a predator away by doing that, like how we're still here, what they will do is deploy another tactic where one of them will pretend to be injured. So like if they notice you're coming close to the nest and you haven't seen the nest yet, one of them will actually start to, they will bend out their wing and limp.
Ooh, that was real close. That was real close.
They actually would just start to limp and lead you away from the nest, and then they would fly off. But many a times hawks would come here and they chase off the hawks with ease. So now we're going to actually walk this way and say hi to our little guy Shay across on that side. He has no reason to get up here. He is a four-legged cougar. Is a real, as you see, he gets a lot of food in the evening. He gets about 3 chickens. And there are animals, if you ever notice in the documentaries, when a lion eats, you'll see the gazelles walking among him. They will come and they'll drink water next to them, because they know that once they eat, they're very relaxed. In the wild, we're not talking about the animals know that it's safe to go around because we're not in the hunting mode. Other names for him, he's a mountain lion or a cougar or the puma, as I was saying. They are indigenous to Central America and North America. Hikers and stuff would beat them up a lot. If you go on YouTube, you see a lot of videos with them coming up onto people's porches and verandas. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of that going on. These are an adult. He doesn't get bigger than this, thank God, because he is very strong as is. He's an animal that many a times when we feel like fed him yesterday, we put the food to the very top and he would run up to the top of the cage and grab it. So he's very good at climbing. He's also very good at running. I also like to tell people that if you should encounter one, safety in numbers, of course. And you don't need to know how to outrun a cougar. That's not what you need to think about. You just need to be able to outrun the slowest person in the group. Yeah.
We've come to the end of our next episode of Caribbean Discoveries, here at the Hidden Zoo down in Chaguaramas. I'm here with my peoples. We now looking to ride out. People like Murty Lee Jr. Tamara. Kalistra. And Murty Lee Jr., 2 friends. So until the next time, our next episode, Caribbean Discoveries. Peace out.